Hello everyone, this is Elizabeth from the Marathon City Branch Library. I'd like to recommend a good book to you today. It's called A Place to Belong by Cynthia Kadohata. This is a story about a Japanese-American family who gets sent back to Japan immediately following World War II. They were held in a prison camp in the United States during the war and pressured to give up their American citizenship. Hanako, the girl in the story, has only ever lived in the United States. Her parents ran a restaurant in California until they were forced to sell and move to the camp. Now they're moving to live with her father's parents in Hiroshima, Japan, one of the locations devastated by an atomic bomb at the end of the war. Coming to this place, they have relatively nothing, only what they were left with on being released from the camp. But even this is much compared to how some people live in the city. Hanako has a generous heart. She's inclined to share the food she has, and even her only good pair of shoes, unselfishly, or maybe guiltily, with an orphan boy and his little sister. She's conflicted by the desire to share and the need to keep what she has for her own family, especially her brother, whom she cares about a great deal. It upsets her when he has to go hungry because there's so little to eat. Although her grandparents behave differently than her parents culturally, and it takes getting used to, she soon grows to appreciate and love them, which is why it is a bittersweet parting at the end when the decision is made for Hanako and her brother to return to America and live with their aunt and uncle. One lesson she learns from her grandparents and her time in Japan is the tradition of kintsukuroi. When dishes or vases get broken, they're pieced back together with a golden varnish or resin. This makes the piece more durable and also more beautiful. I'm going to read a short excerpt from Chapter 1. The very beginning of this book. I love how this book starts. This was the secret thing Hanako felt about old people. She really didn't understand them. It seemed like they just sat there and didn't do much. Sometimes they were rude to you, and yet you had to be extremely, extremely polite to them. And then, when they were nice to you, they asked you lots and lots of questions. Lots. Her mother's parents were both dead, Grandpa from being run over by a tractor while he was drunk, and Grandma from drowning in a giant wave off the coast of Hawaii. They had already passed away when Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. But when Hanako had worked in her family's restaurant, she'd encountered many old people with their families for dinner. Mostly, as said, they just sat there. And now her family was on this gigantic ship, going across the ocean to live with her father's elderly parents in Japan. This was the thing about Japan. She had never been there. Her parents had told her for her entire life that it was important to be American. It was important to talk just a little more loudly than some of the girls who were being raised to be more Japanese. It was important to make eye contact and not cover your mouth when you laughed, like some of the more Japanese girls did. Basically, the way to be Japanese in America was to be more American than the Americans, and now she was being told she would need to learn to be more Japanese. If this sounds like a book you'd enjoy reading, you can check it out at the library or digital library, or keep it in mind for later. Thank you for listening, and remember to take some time to read something you enjoyed today.